Hello everybody, this is Professor Chandana Goswami from Tezpur University, and today I'll be talking about telephonic communication, and towards the end I will also tell you how to handle a telephonic interview. When we have a telephonic conversation, there are some things missing in this communication. So what is missing? There is no eye contact, you can't see the other person, you can't see the body language, you do not get any visual feedback, and therefore there is no scope of gauging a person's receptivity. And while we talk of telephonic conversation, we need to understand that time is at a premium, people are stressed out, and nobody wants to attend to that unexpected call during a busy day. There is also no predicting how the person at the other end will react. You are likely to face any of the following situations. The person may be hostile, or may choose to hang up, or may ask you to call later, or may be quite accommodating. So when we talk of this telephonic conversation, we need to focus on what is required from the sender side as well as from the receiver side. But the priority, more importance is given to the sender side. So let us start with the sender-oriented strategies. So if you are the one who is making a call, number one, choose a good time. Put off making business calls when you are too distracted or tired to give your 100%, which means you need to have your energy before making the phone call. Why? Because you have exactly one opportunity to make a great first impression, or you will not make it if you are not prepared. You need to be full of positive energy. Otherwise, your voice will sound dull with no power to persuade or move the listener into action. You are making the phone call for a purpose, and you want the other person to take some action which is going to be beneficial for you. So therefore, you must have that energy level with you before making the phone call. Also, smile when you talk to people on the phone. It actually shows in your voice. Try not to keep the other person on hold for a long time. For some reason, you need to provide extra information. Don't put the other person on hold. If you are making the call, you should have all the information readily available. And for some reason, you cannot, provide that information. Tell that you will call back, and you should call back. Above all, always ask the receiver whether it is a good time to talk. So when you open the conversation, your first question should be that, is it the right time to talk to you, or should I call you later? This is very important because you also want the listener to be in a positive frame of mind. Second, so we come to opening the call. How will you do it? Eliminate any disturbing background noise if possible. So please make your phone call from a quiet place. Don't make your phone calls from the shopping malls or in the middle of the traffic somewhere. Then you open the call with a standard professional greeting depending on the time of the day. So it's a good morning, good day, good evening. Mention your first name, organization, and purpose of the call, and be direct as possible. Like I said, time is at a premium. So therefore, quickly introduce yourself. I am so and so, working in this particular organization, and I am making this call for this reason. Don't beat around the bush. It can be very irritating. See, nobody has the time to listen to all stories. It's a good idea to rehearse saying the other person's name several times before the phone call, because this will remove any pronunciation problems. Some names are easy to pronounce, some are a little difficult. So therefore make sure that you say it correctly. We don't like people pronouncing our names in the wrong way. Personalize the call and remember to get his or her title right, the designation that you are talking of this person. Okay, this designation we are talking of. And yes, first thing is that ask if it is a good time for you to be calling when you reach someone. If not, ask when you can reach them again. In case the person doesn't pick up your call, so you can leave your message on answering systems. When you do that, you must follow a particular format. First, tell your name of the organization. Second, why you have made the call. Provide them with your contact information. Even though if the person may still have it, you provide them with the information and leave your phone number or some alternate numbers or maybe an email so that the receiver does not have to hunt for it. All right. You are going to facilitate the receiver so that the receiver can again get back to you very easily. Display genuine interest. Allow the other party plenty of time to speak and use prompting words such as, oh, I see, really, and of course your tone has to be sincere. See, you cannot see the other person. You cannot, there is no visual feedback which is coming. All right, same is happening for the receiver also. Therefore, you need to have these fillers in between. This will make the receiver feel that yes, the other person is listening to what I'm saying. Avoid acting rushed even if you are. You may be in a hurry, but because this phone call is important, don't let that hurry reflect in your voice. You have to learn to be calm, composed, and then have the conversation, even though you may be rushed at that point of time. If you are so stressed that you can't handle the call well, then let the voicemail pick up or let it go to the answering machine. You can always call back later. That is a better option than picking up the call and sounding very hurried or stressed out. Offer a variety of response options. If the person you have called needs to get back to you with some information, give him or her a variety of options, like that you can email, you can fax, you can leave a voicemail, or you can WhatsApp, SMS. All right, so give them all these avenues. The objective is to make it easy for them to get back to you. And always close your conversation on a cordial note, which means that you thank the other person for spending time with you. All right, and say it was a pleasure talking to you, when you look forward to interacting with the person again in the future. So those kind of things. Follow up. Make sure you call back whenever you promised you would, but don't be persistent to the point of sounding desperate. However, timely follow-ups will show that you are sincere and committed to the task. So those were sender-oriented strategies. There are few receiver-oriented strategies also. If you are receiving the call, ask for the purpose of call. Listen attentively to what the speaker is saying. Use cordial tone even if you are angry or upset at that moment. Use correct language and display courtesy. Paraphrase crux of the message. This is very important. If you paraphrase it, then the sender also will get a feedback that you have understood it in the way he or she wants you to. Next, we move to how to prepare for a telephonic or a video interview. You will prepare for it as you would do for a face-to-face interview. You will keep all your documents ready. You will also dress smartly. You may be wondering, why should somebody dress smartly for a telephonic conversation where the other party cannot see you? But believe me, it makes you a little more alert. It brings out the professionalism in you and it boosts your confidence. Find a quiet room with good network connectivity and inform your family not to disturb you and also to maintain silence as far as possible. Make sure that your room and background look professional, and this is very important for a video call. Also, familiarize yourself with the technology platforms available for group meetings. All these things will help you in confidently addressing a telephonic or a video interview. So with this I conclude. I hope this session was useful for you. Thank you very much.